Hi, it's Jeff. Thought I better give an update. I haven't been on YouTube in a while. I'm working 12-hour days. This is my US version of the Jacklore. I used white oak for my handle because it's readily available here in the United States. As you can see, it's roughly the same design as Sandy uses to make the Jacklore. I've got tape on the blade right now because I'm going to use that to cover the blade while putting in the Kydex sheath. I'm actually going to cover part of the handle too. And Sandy had mentioned a mistake he'd made the other day where he had nicked a knife. Well, I did more than nick a knife. I'm trying to get the right angle on here. I actually have a double edge, if you can see this, a double angle on this blade. My table slipped on my saw and I did not realize it until I had ground one side down farther than I would have liked. So I thought, well, I'm going to go with it. So I locked it down in that position and I went and did both sides like that. And then I went ahead and put it back to a 90-degree angle so I could do the 10-degree on each side and get the right angle on the blade. Mistakes happen, but you know what? Maybe that's where the best ideas come from. I've been holding off on making the Kydex sheath, well, not only because of my hours, and last week it was like 100 degrees here for 5 days straight, and I didn't even want to get out in the shop, but I also wanted something to cut the Kydex sheath with good, and also the scales of my knife. I was jealous of Sandy getting that bandsaw, so I took some of my money I was making with the overtime I did in the last couple of weeks, and I bought my own bandsaw. I wanted you to see some of the equipment that Sandy's using. I'm using the same thing, basically. Here's my big belt sander and wheel grinder on the side. I also have my smaller belt sander, which I actually use to make the final edge on the blade itself. This is the one that the table slipped on and gave me the wrong angle on this last blade I did. But like I said, I kind of like it. I'm not going to do it again. I mean, it was... Hey, oh, speak of British steel and American steel, there's my American steel. Harley Davidson. Everybody should have one. Anyway, I'm going to put my new bandsaw together, and hopefully I can start the Kydex sheath tomorrow. I'm not sure that will happen or not. It depends on how many hours I'm working tomorrow. But I want to show you one more thing here. Sandy did show me a lot about sharpening knives and gave me some tips on the different stones. I got the DC4, got a leather strop, and some rubbing compound for it. Here's just my little notebook. Pull a page out of here. Think these knives aren't sharp? This is very thin. This is that edge, the blade I messed up on. And this is very, very thin paper. This isn't your computer paper. I shaved the hair on my arm with this the other night. Very, very, very sharp. Scary sharp. I also wanted to show, you see I don't have a lanyard hole in this knife, and the reason being is the material I bought from a local hardware store here is very, very thin walled. So I ordered some from knifekits.com, which is much thicker walled, but it is not the measurement they told me it was. It's not an American drill bit. It's not a numbered drill bit. I actually had to go to work, and they have what we call at work lettered drill bits. This is actually an O, LMNOP. It's the O, which is the exact size of this material. So my next knives will have the lanyard holes in it. But tell you what, Sandy, you taught me a lot. I've learned a lot. It's a learning process. We can all learn together. Make beautiful knives. And I love the wood grain on this oak. Though I'd love to have some of that African wood that you had. That had a very beautiful grain on it. But anyway, share the knowledge. Let's pass it on. Everybody can do this like you can do it, I would think. Hopefully don't take any sales away from you or anything like that, but it's a very good skill. It's very fun to do. Very great hobby, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Thanks again, Sandy.